everyone, this is Jessica with Whispers of Grace. I'm here today to just chat with y'all, spread some messages, spread some love, whatever it needs. I just got done with the general readings not too long ago, and now I am just really compelled to get on here and talk with y'all. If anyone wants to connect with spirit or want me to pull you some cards, let me know what you need. I'm here, and I'm just going to share this to my Facebook page real quick. If you're in here, say hello. Let me know what you need, what's going on with you. And don't be shy, y'all, because Spirit's been pushing me. Hi, Lachey. How are you? They've been pushing me really hard to be more active with y'all, to get in touch more, be more of service. So, I really want to get to know y'all better and really just, I know the general readings help, but sometimes it's better when I can do some mini spreads on your individual energy. So, all right. So I am going based on who I am drawn to. If you want to connect to someone in spirit, just drop their name, and I'll ask them to come through. I can't guarantee who will come through or what their messages are. So if you got a lot of personal stuff you don't want to come out, especially in a public chat room, please be cautious of that, because I don't filter anything. So I am focused on, I'm hoping I'm saying this right, but Neva, you are stuck at the beach in a hotel due to rain. What does Spirit have for you today? So I'm pulling you a card from the universe has your back, and what energy should you be focused on right now while you are stuck in the hotel room? Ooh, that one popped out. The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. So use this time while you're stuck in the hotel room to really be at peace with yourself and go in and do some inner reflection work. You might want to try out a new meditation I'm hearing. Let's see. I kind of feel that in some ways when things don't go according to plan, that you might get upset about certain things and get frustrated. So what they're asking you is to make the most of your situation, pull out some games, have fun with those that you're stuck with, and if you're by yourself, then use that time to reflect. Okay. So, let's see. Henry Harris. Okay. That's for Lachey. Okay, Lachey, I'm not sure if this is Henry or not, but I'm picking up on a father figure or someone you would have looked to as a father. Let me know if this makes sense to you before I go forward, okay? Okay. I'm hearing Texas, something about Texas. Okay. And now I'm getting the word accident. Let me know how that resonates with you before I go any further, grandfather. Okay. Um, he was giving me the sense that he was an active part of you growing up, um, in the sense where if someone couldn't step in, they were the one to step up. Yeah. Um, okay. And, you know, with the, he wasn't, he makes it feel really quick. Okay. Um, I don't know what the reference is, whether it's to you and your family, like your siblings, but I'm getting um, two boys and one girl. Now, whether how that fits into your family, he's bringing this up, and he just wants to acknowledge that he's with all of you, and he has this really me and your two brothers. Okay. So he's telling me that he has, like, he loves your brothers. God bless them, he says. But he has this stronger connection with you, and he's glad that you came in today because he's been waiting to tell you how much he loves you and the strides that you're making in order to turn your life around. Um, I feel that especially within the last 6 to 8 months, you have been really trying to make necessary changes in your life, and he's been helping push some of these obstacles for you to overcome because there's a lot of healing that needs to take place from your past. And he's just letting you know that even though he's not here in the physical, he's still supporting you as if he was still here physically. So keep doing what you're doing and know that he's there fully supporting you from the other side. And he loves you very much, okay? Um, okay, let's see. Um, Hi everyone, I'm so glad that y'all can join me. I'm just kind of scrolling through to see who Spirit's jumping out at. Um, oh, thank you, Phyllis. That is so sweet. I'm so glad y'all enjoy my channel because I really couldn't do this without y'all. And honestly, I don't know if y'all have been feeling it, but June, and if you haven't watched my other videos about the necessary changes, and especially with the Power Path report, how we're going through these shifts of where to place our energy, and we might feel almost unmotivated in a sense. So I've been really battling with that energy, and I've noticed that when I just get up and do these videos is when I actually feel myself, because I'm connected. I'm connected to y'all, I'm connected to Spirit, I'm connected to my purpose. So if any of you are feeling those same things, then just make sure that whatever you're feeling disconnected from, just get up and do it, y'all, because you will feel better. You are so welcome. Um, okay. Okay. And y'all just keep commenting too, because I'm going based off of who they're pulling me to. And right now they're pulling me to Miss Lisha, Miss Lisha. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But the card they actually gave you is the Knight of Cups. So I don't know what your sign is, but you are so welcome, Lachey. Okay, so Gemini. Okay. Are you dealing with a water sign, or have you just had a recent offer made to you? If not, you're probably going to have one soon. But you're a Cancer moon. Okay. So that makes sense. Let's see. Okay. Are you having some issues with a possible Aries? Having a hard time making a decision about what kind of abundance you're trying to manifest for yourself? If it's not an Aries, they're telling you that if you're wanting the offers that you're trying to manifest, then you need to drop the certain weight that you've been carrying and take leadership back over your life. Stand strong in your truth and make the necessary decisions on what is going to benefit you in the long run. What makes you get going? Because you are going through a lot of changes, and I feel like there was a strong connection with someone, but almost like someone was disinterested or turning a blind eye to what they really had in front of them. And they're just telling you that you do have a lot of options and you need to take a leap of faith and follow your intuition. If you're dealing with someone who is not good to you in any sort of sense, and this can be anybody, family, friends, significant other, it doesn't matter. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy around this person, okay? But until you take on more of a fire energy and really have that passion about what you want to feel in life, you're not going to be able to let go, okay? When you know your worth and you know what you're willing to accept into your life is when you'll be able to make those necessary changes. But don't let people push you around, because I kind of get that, like, spirit has me like they're pushing you in so many different directions, and I feel like you're having a hard time getting in touch with your own emotions and what you're actually feeling, because you're picking up on all these other people's energy that are pulling you in a million different directions. And I kind of get the feeling that this person that, you know, you're talking about with the mental energy that's causing that mental energy is that they're making you question yourself, that they're making you question your intuition, they're making you doubt your own decision-making process. And if that's the case, you need to cut that shit off. Like, don't do it. Just don't do it. You'll save yourself a world of heartache in the moment that you can get away from that energy and create that distance, because they don't have the best intention for you, and you don't need that kind of negativity in your life. Just saying. So, listen, and I'll tell anyone and everyone, because I say it to my damn self, you are only gonna get in life what you allow, okay? When you allow negative, low vibrational people into your life, when you let people tell you who you are or what you're worth, if you're letting narcissistic assholes run your life, you will not make any good strides, because you are constantly letting people run your life for you. Stand up, bid you adieu, get the fuck out. Don't do it. Sorry about the language. So I'm just saying, I get fired up about that because I've been going through that shit my whole life. It is not worth it. If we don't know how to stand up for ourselves, we can't expect other people to do it. So you have to start taking charge of your own life, okay? All right. Hi Boxa, how you doing? Glad to see you in here. Okay. Okay. Evolution Fairy. Gemini. Do you have a specific question or do you just want you want me to pull a card for you? Of course you're going to survive. There's the sun. The light is right around the corner. Illuminate your life, illuminate truth, allow things to come to the light. When you feel darkness, reshift it back to light. This is all about happiness. This is all about victory. This is about putting all of your efforts into your happiness and allowing yourself to see all the fruits of your labor, okay? You will come out of this, stay strong, and allow the necessary changes to happen. You might be going through some court processes or dealing with a Libra, but listen, if you want happiness, you have to make a decision, okay? Sorry about the glare there. But there is a decision that you have to release yourself from in order to find that abundance. You could be getting an offer from, you might be like going head to head with a water sign, and it's causing a lot of turmoil, a lot of overburdened energy, which is making it really hard to change things because I feel like they're just being stingy as hell. But you have the courage and the strength to manifest whatever it is you want, and you just need to keep moving forward. Don't, like I said, don't let assholes hold you back. Ain't worth it. Yes, Sanita, I was actually looking at you. Can you please, I've been working on here. Okay. Any guidance? And thanks again, y'all, for being a part of this, because I really don't know what I'd do without y'all. If anyone would like to donate to support the channel, there is the donation link down below. So Sanita, this is all about taking care of your mental health, okay? You need to take a time out, really use this downtime to raise your vibration and do some inner reflection work. You need to remove yourself from any like toxic energy, anything that makes you feel stagnant, anything that is making you question where you are, where you want to be. You really need to do that inside work, because you are at the very end of the cycle with the 10 of cups, or sorry, 10 of cups. Well, the fact that I say the 10 of cups with the 10 of swords is when you release this energy, you will be able to feel that happiness again. You will be able to release yourself from this toxic mental energy and really cut it down so you can start to embrace life again. You might have, I don't know what your sign is, so tell me what your zodiac sign is, but you might be having issues with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Yeah, because the divine guidance card here represents the Hierophant, which is Taurus. So you're probably having either some truth or clarity coming out about a fire sign, or someone who is just always offering up. I'm getting the sense of offering advice even when it's not wanted. And there's this communication error there. Okay. So if you're wondering what you need to do, you need to take this time to go in, reflect on what it is you're supposed to learn from this person. And you said it's your mom. You need to learn what you learn from this situation. What is she here to teach you about yourself, and what you want to do in the future for yourself, and release yourself from this mental energy. There's got to be some truth and communication with her about what it is that you actually need. And if she doesn't respect that, then you're going to have to distance yourself from her and understand that you can't live your life through her, okay? And she can't live her life through you. This is your life, and you have to make the decisions for yourself. So whatever you feel is best for you, listen to your intuition. And even if it might not be the outcome that you thought it was going to be, it's still better than it was, and it will lead you in the right direction. Just keep moving and keep pushing, because you are heading in the right direction. You just have to get through this phase, but you are at the end, so don't give up. Okay. Oh, y'all are so welcome. I'm so glad, y'all. Seriously. Um, okay. Okay. Mr. Gerardo, if you are still in here, can you please give me your father's name? You know, and I think it's funny that, you know, the whole it's easier said than done. Yes, yes, it is. But in a sense, we make it harder on ourselves because our ego is so attached to things that it's hard for ego to step aside. It's not hard for us. Our intuition and our spirit knows what's best for us, but it's our ego with the unhealthy attachments. If we let go of this person, are we ever going to find that connection again? Are we going to have this? Are we going to have that? And it creates this fear inside of us from making the necessary changes. It's really not hard to say, hey, this person does not benefit my life, and it makes it even worse. That is our spirit saying, we need to let this person go with love. Okay, it doesn't mean that we have to be nasty or anything like that, but there is a healthy way of releasing people and wishing them the best. You are responsible for your own energy, and they are responsible for theirs. Everyone has a choice to make every single day, so just understand that. Um, okay. Okay, I guess Mr. Gerardo is not in here. So I do not speak Spanish. Oh, there you are. Okay. Gennaro? Am I reading that right? Okay, so Mr. Gerardo, if Gennaro is. Okay, so let me see if I can pull him in real quick. So the first thing that I picked up on was the number 56 and something about a red car. I don't know what that means to you. And let's see. I'm going to try not to pay attention to the comments because I'll get distracted. Let's see, what else do you have for me? Let me know if that resonates with you. And if it doesn't now, it will make sense later. But I do some digging because there's something around 56 and a red car. So I don't know if it's the year of the red car, if he had one. Okay. He's saying something about gold jewelry. Does that make sense? Let me know if any of this is resonating with you, because that's how I go about moving into. Okay, I am so sorry, y'all. I don't even, my electronics hate me. So, I don't know if anyone is still in here. If you are, please let me know. And I will start over again. So, I'm here doing spirit messages and pulling cards for anyone who needs it. Just let me know what you need. Okay, so your aunt loved gold. Okay. So, let's see. Now, is your aunt passed over? Or is she still here in the physical world? Okay. Okay. So just them letting you know that they're together in the spirit realm. She's acknowledging that she was there to greet him when he passed over. That's why the gold jewelry is being brought up. So just know that if you were having any doubt about, your father passing and, was anyone there on the other side waiting for him, you know, this is that she was there waiting on him. Okay. And don't worry about a thing. They're both severely happy and living it up over there. So just know that he didn't really feel anything. Like when it was time for him to pass over, like it was very quick for him. His transition was pretty quick. So just understand that if there is any worry about that in his passing, then he is perfectly fine, and his family was waiting for him when he crossed over. Okay. I really hope that my phone doesn't shut out. Okay. You know, Mark, that's a tricky question. Um, yeah. So, Mark, I will tell you right now what my guides are telling me. And, you know, I've said this for a long time myself and found out that it's actually from my guides. But X's are X's for a reason. Whatever lesson, if she's coming in and out, there's still a lesson that needs to be learned. So, you need to figure out what it is that she's making you feel. What have you gone through with this person? And try to figure out what it is that is keeping you from moving on to the next chapter. Because if she's coming in and out, then she's unsure of what effort she's willing to put in with you. Now, if you don't want that kind of behavior and you want someone that's actually going to stick with you, then you need to set stronger boundaries with her and say, you know, and I don't like giving ultimatums, because if the person really wants to be in your life, they're going to be in your life. It's one thing to say, hey, this is what I need, and they really accept, they hear, they listen, and they act upon it. But if you've been saying those kind of things and they're still coming in and out, then that person does not fit into your life, and it's more of a convenience. So set those boundaries, have put distance between you and this person, and allow the necessary healing to take place, because as long as you're still letting them in, they're going to keep coming in, because it is of convenience and they will get what they need and then leave again. And when they run out over there, then they're going to come back. So just don't do that to yourself, and allow the necessary process to start. Okay, I don't even have to pull a card for that. I can tell you that from personal experience. So yeah, don't respect yourself. Yeah, exactly, Boxa. Like, seriously, I will tell you from personal experience, like, okay, with my ex, what happened was, I mean, we were together for almost 6 years, married for almost 3. And as soon as we got married, like, things started changing, and I was waking up and I could pick up on his energy and notice that he wasn't quite there. Then I started noticing his behavior around other women, which was a huge red flag. I'm like, listen, I want to make sure things are okay, blah, blah, blah. No, everything's fine. He kept trying to convince me that there was nothing wrong and that it was just in my head. The more that I let it go, the more that I kept seeing, the more that my intuition was screaming at me to pay attention. And I just believed that if he said we were okay, but it didn't make sense. And every time that I felt like I had to leave, he always tried to talk me back, and always what he'd do is he'd control the environment around us in order to make me feel like I was crazy, and that the things that I was experiencing and felt true in my soul was wrong. It was more about control and trying to control how I viewed my environment and the things that I was experiencing. So what happened was, he didn't give a shit when I was saying, hey, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I need from you, let's work this out, like, what do you need from me? And it was always the same thing, there's nothing wrong, I'm happy, da 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 da. But his actions were saying something different. Then when I left, it was, but I'll do anything, I love you, and da 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 da, I don't know what to do without you. And as soon as I'd come back, it was the same shit all over again. I left 3 times within, the first time was May, then I left in August, and then I left in September. And every time I came back, I wanted to believe that things were really going to work out. you know, we started therapy and everything, and he didn't want to put in the effort. Well, it got to the point like, listen, if I'm going to put myself through this and actually put in the effort to fix myself and fix our relationship, and you're not taking any of the advice, then what am I doing here? Because I'm losing myself. So the only time that he wanted to work on things is when he thought there was an opportunity to bring me back. The moment, the moment that I set boundaries and was like, listen, I love you, I care about you, and I want us to be happy, but this shit ain't working. This isn't healthy. And if we're going to communicate and stay on solid grounds, then I need to set some boundaries with you. I want to keep open line of communication so we can work through this, but I can't have you calling me every day, either telling me sweet nothings and then the next day screaming at me. Like, this doesn't work. And the moment that I tried to set those boundaries, he blew up. I mean, it was full on smear campaign, you're crazy, da 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 da. And I mean, it just went completely downhill and the mask was completely removed. So once you start setting your boundaries, that is when you're going to see who these people really are. Okay. And if they really care about you, they're going to respect your boundaries and do what is necessary in order to make it work. And if not, then let them go. You don't have time for that. We only have so much time here on the physical plane, and it is our job to do our soul's work. If we are so focused on everyone else and their shitty agenda, we're not focused on our purpose here on earth. So take care of yourself first. Trust that. Okay, as far as angel numbers, my favorite, I will tell you right now, is Joanne's Sacred Scribes. Like, every time that I see the numbers and I look it up, even if I just see them and I haven't looked them up in a while, when my guides are like, you need to read it now, it always makes so much sense. And even if it doesn't make sense now, the necessary changes that you are thinking about making, once you make that decision, then it will make sense later. Because I noticed that when I was going through my awakening process too, I was seeing them all the time, and it was one of those things, like, I was in a really low place. I didn't know what to do, where to turn. I didn't know what to believe. I mean, I was honestly being convinced that I was nuts, even though I knew I didn't, or I wasn't. I've been through that before, and people trying to convince me that I'm nuts. And I started seeing these numbers everywhere, and they kept telling me, you're on the right track, just keep moving forward, stay focused, stay focused on your divine purpose and your mission, and, you know, don't be afraid to ask for help from your angels. And it's like, well, how am I on the right track, but I feel so low, like I feel lost? And it was because my guides were pushing me out of that situation, but I was too scared to let go because of the attachment and all the things that society says. Oh, you're married, it's death till you part, and you know, if you get divorced, then you're a failure, then you gave up on your love, your marriage, whatever the case may be. Like, it almost makes you feel like a sin to say, I choose my mental health, I choose my support first, and I should feel guilty about that? Absolutely not. So you know, when you start seeing the numbers, if you're going through a certain situation where you're feeling confused and lost, the decisions that you're thinking about making, or that spirit's trying to push you towards, is the decision that needs to be made in order for those things to come true. I'm just trying to clarify that real quick. Okay. I just want to say, like, I am so grateful for everyone in this room. Like, the comments that I'm not getting to, that y'all are all in here helping out. I really appreciate it, and giving that feedback. Remember, inspire and uplift, empower, and all of us light workers need to stick together, man, because there's so much darkness going around. We need to raise that elevation. We need to raise that vibration and truly be there and stick with each other, because this is how we're going to change the world. So, okay. April, if you want to connect to spirit, please give me a name, please. Work first if you're still in here, if you want to connect to someone. I mean, I have a lot of spirit waiting on the other side, so if you want someone in particular, give me a name and I'll call them to the front. I can't guarantee that they will come through, but I will definitely ask if there's anyone for you, okay? Yeah, so I'll just ask if anyone new is popping in. If you are looking to connect to someone in spirit, please drop a name for me. If you want me to pull a card for you, please drop your zodiac sign. And if it's as far as a relationship, leave theirs too. Okay. Adele, Kathleen. Okay. So, okay, I'll try to get to as many of these as possible. I won't be able to stay on too long because I've actually been channeling all day. Okay, so it's 9:18. All right, so let's see. Adele, Kathleen. Okay. Kathleen, Adele, Kathleen's your mom. I'm picking up on a woman who is, she's not giving me an exact height, but I would say on the shorter side, like 5'2", 5'3", with short reddish brown hair. And she kind of gives me the feeling like she was a firecracker in a small package. If that makes sense, let me know. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I love her energy. Like, she's like, I'm so happy to be here. She says, thank you for listening to her guidance and jumping into this session, because when I was meditating, I was asking Spirit if there's anyone that needs to hear these messages to push them in, and you followed the guidance and you're getting the messages. So she's like super stoked to be talking to you. I really get the sense that I feel like there was a little bit of troubles here and there, but for the most part, and I think it was more related to other family members, but you and her had this really, really strong connection. Like, she looks at you almost like a best friend. Like, I wouldn't know what to do without her. So she's really glad that you're still, she goes, even though you're hard-headed, you're still listening to her guidance from the other side. And she goes, what's new? So let me know if that resonates with you as well, okay? Um, okay. Is there anything else? Are there certain changes that you have been wanting to make but not sure how to go about? I need you to talk to me so I'm not holding on to her so long. Hi everyone, thank you for joining in. I'm trying to connect. Okay. Okay, perfect. Um, so she wants you to know that when it comes to making these certain changes, that you can trust your intuition. If it doesn't pan out, then it's not meant to. You don't need to try and force anything. The transition should be fairly easy for you once you make the decision, okay? So don't doubt yourself and don't think that she's not there, because she's absolutely guiding you every day. You can still talk to her every day, and don't forget to communicate with her, because I really feel, I'm not sure if you live in an apartment or if she did, but I kind of get the sense that she's been following you around, but she brings up the word apartment. And so just know that if you are in tighter quarters, that she's actually preferring it that way, because then you can't get away from her. That's what she's saying. She's she's really on top of you. So just know that she's not going to let you slip up. And even if you feel like you're slipping up, it's all for a reason. And she is absolutely pushing you in the right direction. So don't doubt it for a second. Everything will pan out exactly as it's meant to. Just remember to trust your gut and don't allow people to push you around, okay? Stand strong. All right, so thank you. All right, let's see, who else? That was for Adele, okay? You'll know if I'm talking to you. Um, okay. Listen, Linda, are you in here? I'm so glad that you resonate with that, Adele. Yeah, your mother is a powerhouse, man. She will not let you go. So it wasn't like that in when she was here in the physical sense, and she's not gonna be gone in the spiritual. So Linda, okay, what was your um, you were asking. They had me pulling to you. Your dad, Dale. Okay, Dad, Dale. All right. Let's see if we can get him in here. Okay. So I'm picking, and let me know if this is him. I'm picking up on a taller male, kind of wide stature, and has like a very, the way he laughs is like really from his belly, like I mean, it was almost one of those laughs that reverberated through the house. It was very distinct and almost like he's saying a calling card, okay? Like, this is something everyone knew him for. It was something that everyone actually looked forward to when y'all were sitting around and cracking jokes, that kind of thing. Let me know if that makes sense for you. I kind of get the feeling that he was one of those people that not just you and your family, but other people that, whether it be your friends or neighborhood kids, could talk to, looked up to in a sense. And he, I hear neighborhood dad. I don't know what that means. If he was one of those people that just kind of took everyone under his wing and, you know, was that strong structure for people. Let me know if that resonates before I go any further. Okay. So, yeah, I need y'all to stay on top of it and make sure. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. So, let's see what else he has to say. Okay. He keeps bringing something up about a chair, like a specific chair was his chair. Does that make sense? I don't know if it was, what are you showing me? Something about a love seat, small couch. Um, He gives me the sense, especially when he was younger, that he loved being outside a lot. Um, oh, okay. Um, yeah, he's bringing up specific memories about this chair, and let's see. Okay. He's kind of giving me the feeling that there were a lot of people coming in and out at the end. There were some people that didn't get to say goodbye that are still holding on to this guilt, and he wants them to know that it's okay, because he hears them, and he's conscious that they're still holding on to this, and he asks that they release it, that he's still watching over them, especially those that were closer to him on certain levels. And he kind of gives me the feeling that he didn't want to be fussed over. Like, he understood that people were saying their goodbyes at the end. Even, was he unconscious for, like, not completely mentally aware at the end? Because he kind of gives me the feeling that people were talking to him, but he couldn't communicate that well. So he's giving me the sense that there's some sense there with the family that people feel like they didn't get their proper goodbyes. Even though he wasn't communicating back, he was still in spirit and mind trying to communicate, even if it wasn't coming out verbally, he could still hear them. So just let them know that. And oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. But if there is anyone in your family that was there to say goodbye and he wasn't fully conscious, that he did hear their messages, and he says he loves them too, and that he's still giving them shit from the other side. So don't think that that's going to stop now. Yes, Jamie, I am pulling cards, I'm talking to spirit, whatever I'm being drawn to. So, okay. He says he loves you so, so much, and that you are the light of his eye, even now, and that there's, he says, there is nothing you could do wrong to disappoint me, whatever that means to you, okay? So even if you are making certain decisions and you feel like there have been things that he might not approve of, there is nothing that you could do in his eyes that would make you disappoint him in any way. He loves you for exactly who you are, and he wants you to continue to find out where you are on a soul level, and he will be waiting for you when you are called home. So he's making sure. There's also, is there another family member, an aunt, who is either sick or just recently passed away? Because he's giving me the sense that he's waiting on someone or just greeted someone on the other side. Um, okay. Um, okay. Keep that in mind. Um, if it's, I don't know if it's on his side or your mother's side, but if there's someone that he's bringing up as an aunt figure. Now, whether that is like his aunt or your aunt, how that's related, but there is someone else that he is waiting on to cross over, okay? And he just wants you to know that he will be there. So you might have to do a little digging. If it doesn't make sense now, it'll make sense later, okay? So yeah, he loves you very much, and he's so glad that you joined in today. So just pay attention to the signs and synchronicities, and don't doubt it for a second. If you know it's him or have that gut feeling that it's him, say thank you and accept the message for what it's worth, okay? All right, so thank you so much. Let's see. Okay. Okay, Arthur, are you still in here? They're drawing me to you. Arthur, can you give me your parents' names, please? Hi, Nelson. How you doing? Oh, you're so welcome, Lachey. Yeah, give me their names and I'll call them in, see if I can see if they can come through. Yeah, Arthur, if you can give me the name of your mom and dad, I'll see what they have to say. Okay, Anna and Arthur. Okay. Okay. Arthur, they're actually both here, but give me 1 second because I need to separate them. Um, they're both very strong energies, but I think your dad's going to step forward first because he seems a little, and I don't mean to say this in a wrong way because I feel like she's going to scold me for this, but he's the stronger energy. Um, so, let's see. Okay. So I'm not really sure where this is, geographically speaking, not quite sure. But he's actually showing me the ocean, but it's a very rocky, mountainous area. I don't know if that makes sense to you, whether that's where he grew up or if that's where you grew up. But I feel like this was a specific spot that someone went to, and it was, he's giving me the word legend. It was like a legend place, and it was a part of his story. Um, I don't know if you ever heard of that. Let's see. Okay. I'm not sure what the story was of how he actually met your mother, but he's giving me this feeling like he saw her somewhere, and it was, if you've been thinking about visiting, I would suggest you do it because I bet you if you say, lead me to this place, they're going to take you to this. And what I am seeing is like it's hilly but mountainous, and there's this ledge here that drops off, and it's just like this place that you can sit and watch the ocean, and it's a very kind of secluded place. So it's not something that is very touristy. It was something that he knew about and something that he would have shared with family and friends, but not many people knew about it. So I would ask him to guide you there, and even ask around to the older family members if they knew of him going to this place, okay? But when it comes to how he saw your mother, I almost feel that they had a very interesting love story, and it was one of those things that they were together for a very long time. And even though that they because the energy she was giving, like when I was saying, I hate to say this, but he's coming in as the stronger energy, she was kind of whatever, that kind of energy. She was very strong within herself. She knew who she was, and I kind of get more of the feisty energy, but she was a very strong mother figure, when it came to keeping the kids in line. And she was the one that had to step up a lot and usually would call dad in for reinforcement if it was absolutely necessary. But for the most part, I feel like she handled it. Um, but the way that he looks at her, even if she didn't notice it, there's this unconditional love. Like, I still remember the first time that I saw her type of love. And I almost get the sense that he saw her in a crowded place and it was just this instant connection, and she worked it because he's still like oogling over her in the spirit world. So let me know if that makes sense to you. Um, okay. So I'm picking up on two boys. So I don't know if you have a brother or do you have another brother, or is there two, like a set of brothers within the family? And honestly, I think the whole awkwardness is because it, they were two totally different energies. And even though love awkwardness, um, it, okay, if it doesn't make sense now, just keep it in mind because it might come up later. And also passing down of stories of how relationships and that kind of stuff happen, like it'll make sense later, I promise. It usually does. And I don't say that I'm 100% correct because no one can be 100% correct, but I trust in the messages that Spirit gives me. So if it doesn't make sense now, it will make sense later. Um, but yeah. Um, okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're just, it's what they're bringing up. But I do see that there is a set of two boys that is being brought up. Um, do you have children? Or does your sister have children? A son? Trying to figure out where they're leading me. Because now they're giving me the sense that whoever has one son might be having another. There's going to be a set of two boys, I promise. If you don't know of two boys, there's either a set of two boys on his side of the family, or there's going to be two that are born within y'all's side of the family. I'm just saying. Um, so keep that in mind. Uh, all right. So let's see. And honestly, it's all about the communication too. So, if any of y'all, I will say, if any of y'all are looking to communicate with spirit, just mm, bring your vibration down a little bit so you're not so heightened, and allow them to come in, ask them to come in and communicate, because sometimes the communication is a little off. So, um, okay. Why do I get the feeling that, especially when you were growing up, if you acted dumb or did something stupid, that your mother would smack you upside the head? um, Okay. And see, that could be it. There's a strong set of two. But just know that if you get the feeling that you're making a decision that doesn't feel right, and you ask yourself, like, how would mom feel about this decision? If you think she would smack you upside the head, don't do it. Okay? She's saying, still trust that my gut is better than yours. Okay? So, again, just take how it resonates and, you know, let them guide you. And especially if you've been getting that inclination to go to where they're from, then I would do it, because there's definitely something there and they're leading you to it. I think it would be a good part of your journey. Okay? So I'm going to let them step down, and I hope you get what you need from that. And they say they love you very much, by the way, and don't give up. Okay? Okay. So, okay. Okay, so blessed one, I was drawn to you. She's given me messages in my dreams before, and I really need her right now. I feel like I've ever found. Okay, so blessed one, can you please tell me your grandmother's name? Oh, you're so welcome, Arthur. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And, well, okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. So she's giving me quite a few things, but it's coming in kind of splotchy. So I'll try to give as best as I can. Okay, the light. That is what I was. Okay, so the first thing that I saw was coming in from the right side. I was seeing this really strong light coming in from behind and through my peripheral. I don't know if you're experiencing that in your dreams or if you're catching things out of your peripheral, but just know that that is absolutely her communicating with you. I feel that she's having a hard time actually communicating thoroughly. So that's why she's coming through in the dreams, because in this state where she's at in her transition, this is the easiest way for her to communicate to you. There was something about dogs and birds, though. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but the dogs and birds came up too. Okay, blessed one. Let me know if any of that resonates with you. Okay. Do you find your dog looking at anything that's not there? Maybe like spacing off or barking for no reason, that kind of thing, any strange behavior. Because I feel like she's been trying to get your attention in other ways, but since she's having a hard time coming fully through, she's using little things. I would pay attention, okay? Even if you have to, I don't know, and it doesn't necessarily have to be barking. You can, the first time I noticed that my dog could see spirit, um, it was like they were totally focused on something that wasn't really anything. And they're just, and honestly, because, and I think that's why she's having a hard time communicating with you because, and please don't take this the wrong way, but that you're in a low vibration. When you're in a lower vibration and you're feeling all this pain and guilt, it's harder for them to come through and to communicate with us. So I think that's why I'm having a hard time connecting to her. But just know that she is here with you and that she is trying to communicate. But you have to be a little more aware of your surroundings, because I do feel that, especially if she's bringing up the whole dog thing. I mean, the dogs and the birds were some of the first things that she brought up with the white light, coming from the peripheral. You know, you might not be seeing the signs around you because you're in this spiral, okay? So work on raising your vibration. I would suggest doing meditation, especially before bed. Write down, dream journal, she's telling me, and work on affirmations. Work on bringing in more positivity in your life. And if you're feeling any guilt or remorse about certain things, I would suggest also writing out a list of that, of what you needed to learn from that situation, how to move forward, support that you can get, whether it's, you know, from support groups or friends, family, whatever it may be. But I feel like you need to do some exercises in order to bring up your vibration so she can communicate with you a little bit better. But there's some really big changes that need to happen for you. She's actually showing me the Tower card. So that's probably why you're feeling this low vibration, because when the Tower comes in, it's usually very quick, very sudden, and it really brings things down so you can rebuild your life, okay? And that's what they're trying to get you to do. So just understand that the changes that you're going through, the signs and synchronicities, if you are feeling lost, then you need to get around like-minded people and start working on building yourself back up, because they are around you. And you might be a little more in tune with spirit than you think. And I know that when I shut my abilities off and I started going through my depression and I was very disconnected, was some of the worst times of my life. So make sure that you're meditating, make sure you're taking that time to connect to spirit and allow them to come through for you, okay? I hope that helps. All right. So yeah, and you know, I've had the dark shadows too, because they can't always come through in full body apparition. I choose not to see them though. Like when I hear and see, like if I hear them audibly and see them, sometimes it can freak me out. Like, I mean, you don't, I actually had, let me tell y'all, there's a girl, okay, you're so welcome, honey. I was actually having this conversation with a girl that teaches one of my exercise classes, And she was very curious, and she was like, oh, so I heard you know, you're a medium. And I was like, yeah, you know, I started my channel and blah, blah, blah. And we started talking. She goes, so do you like see them? And, well, I choose not to because it kind of freaks me out to see a person who's not really standing there, but standing there. And it's honestly been almost a year since I've seen a full body apparition because it was 4th of July last year. And when I went to her class a few weeks ago and she asked me this, I was like, yeah, no, I don't see them anymore. Da, 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 da. And all of a sudden, I was like in the middle of our exercise and I go to turn around and there's this man just standing there. I felt like I was going to run into a brick wall. He was so close to me and it literally stopped me in my tracks. I saw him 3 different times. And it was like every time I'd come around, he was just there. It freaked me out. This is why I just choose to see them through my third eye. Like, I much rather see them here than actually standing in front of me. Some people don't mind, but yeah. Last year I was at the lake house, and actually it was from, was it? No, it was 4th of July. And there was that week, and me, my ex, and his 2 friends were up there, and their grandfather came in. I was in the laundry room folding clothes, and I just had this sense. I looked behind me, and there's a man standing there. I was like, oh, well, you know, wait a minute. That wasn't anyone that I was with. And I turn back around, there's no one there, and I look out the room, and my husband was on the other side of the kitchen, and the 2 other guys were sitting at the table. No one was in there with me. So yeah, it did. It totally tripped me out. I don't like seeing them personally, but and it shouldn't freak me out, but I'm still working on that. So yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting. And it does. It completely throws me off sometimes. I don't know why, but I'd much rather see them in my third eye than see them physically, because it does. It's usually when I'm turning a corner, or, you know, I'm like spaced out. A lot of people are saying that they can notice when I'm starting to shift consciousness because I just zone out. I'm just not completely there. They say you're here, but you're really not. And it's like, yeah, because I'm in between. I'm not here nor there. I'm just there. And it is what it is. And that's why I like getting on here with y'all, because at least then I can let the messages out. Not everyone wants to hear it, and I can't force messages on anyone. So she came through. She did come through blessed, but you're between what happens. And let me explain this to y'all real quick, because I've been doing actually, I have not, Boxa. I have not been called a witch or evil, but I was a witch in a past life. I did find that out. Yeah, no, if you're seeing full figures, like shadow figures, you are seeing spirit, and it is not your imagination. And that's why I'm saying I really feel like you're more connected to the spirit realm than you give yourself credit for. But what happens is we tend to turn off our emotions and disconnect from it, which can cause very yeah, and if you're seeing full body apparitions, then yes. I mean, it doesn't matter whether they're shadow or full body. I mean, you're still seeing spirit. So, but what I'm saying is you're connected to the spirit realm more than you think. And sometimes what can happen is it can get very overwhelming for sensitives, and especially when we're going through a lot of life changes and, you know, things tend to go up in upheaval. When we disconnect, we start it's hard for us to go through the transition, okay? Especially people who are mediums. And what happens when we get in a low vibration, then it honestly makes it harder for spirit to come through. And it's just as if I'm doing a reading for anyone else who if they can connect to spirit or not. What happens is they bounce their energy off of our energy. I'm the middleman, so they're connected to you. So if you're on a low vibration, they have to work harder. If you're in a low vibration and not fully accepting of them coming through, even if you think you are, there's still a lot of guards up. It's an energy field. We have to open ourselves up in order, because that's what mediums do. Like, I have to expel my energy out for them to step in. And that's why it's so exhausting. And honestly, I can start to feel myself getting drained. So I'm going to have to cut this short soon. But we have to push our energy out in order for them to step in order to communicate. So what I'm doing is I'm not only picking up your energy, but their energy, and I'm having to figure out what the messages mean. And it's like just relaying everything that's coming through. I'll hear, I'll see, I'll feel, I'll sense, and I just say whatever comes to mind. But the thing is when there's a lot of grief and a lot of negative energy flowing around, which is all fear-based, whether it be depression, anxiety, guilt, obligation, anger, disappointment, whatever the case may be, it's harder for them to step in. When we're in a higher vibration and of loving energy, then it's easier for them to step in. And it depends on if they're a good communicator or not. If they weren't a good communicator when they were in the living world, then they're probably not going to be a good communicator on the spirit world, because they still carry a lot of the personalities when they're on the other side. So I hope that makes sense to you. All right, so I'm going to take one more person, and then I am going to call it a night. Yeah. And blessed, I mean, she can, but you know, really work on your affirmations. You know, I was reading and it keeps coming up for me too. If we focus on the things that we are lacking and we're staying focused on, we feel like shit, we're depressed, nothing's going right, I never, blah, blah, blah. If you stay in this mindset, that is exactly what you're going to keep getting. So even if you feel negative, you have to shift that mindset. The moment that you're like, I feel like I'm lacking, no, I am feeling abundance. I am feeling happy. I am feeling joyful. I am, whatever the case may be, switch it around and think of the happiest possible thing that you want to be feeling and act as if you are already feeling it, okay? And I promise you things will change. Okay, Haley Hilton, I get an immediate yes. I feel that there are still... Okay. Don't know if you have a brother or someone you look to as a brother. There's a male figure that you're going through some obstacles with in your life that might be a little rocky, but you are on the right track and you need to keep moving forward. Don't give up. Never stop chasing the light. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm getting pooped out. I will try this again. And probably if I can't do tomorrow, I will probably try later next week. I don't even know how long I've been doing this, but I love y'all so much, and thanks for joining. Thank you for Spirit coming through and giving these messages. Don't forget to say thank you to them. And if you know anyone who might need to see this, or you know, someone who's curious, whatever, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to leave comments down below. Let me know what y'all think. And if there's anything, if y'all want to see this more, just let me know. And I think it's really funny. There are 22 people in this room and 22 likes. So yes, love those repeating numbers. Y'all are so welcome. And I'm really glad that y'all enjoyed it. And I love y'all so freaking much. So thank you for allowing me to do this. And if you need a private reading, please email me at whispersofgrace1016@gmail.com. If you want to support the channel, there's a donation link down below in the description box. Anything is welcome. I do this, I want to do this as a living, so support is always great. And, you know, just y'all being here for me when, you know, you don't have to be. And the amount of support that I get from the YouTube community is amazing. And I can't tell y'all how much I appreciate every single one of you, and constantly being there and giving me that confirmation, allowing me to work on my gifts and allowing me to share them with you. I really appreciate it, and Spirit appreciates it. So keep up the good work. Don't stop fighting for yourselves. Allow them in, and never stop listening, okay? Trust yourself, trust Spirit, and trust your journey. So with that being said, I love you all, and I hope you all have a very good night. I will talk to you soon. Bye.